Nobody saw this coming. Not the fans, not the analysts, and definitely not the critics who've spent months trying to downplay what's happening right in front of them. Because in a moment that flipped the entire conversation, Raven Johnson just gave the kind of praise that instantly changed the narrative around Caitlin Clark. And here's the thing, this wasn't forced, it wasn't scripted, and it definitely wasn't something meant to go viral. It felt real. It felt like a player watching another player and finally saying what a lot of people have been hesitant to admit out loud. Because after watching Caitlin Clark control the pace, stretch defenses beyond logic, and make elite players look ordinary, Raven Johnson didn't hold back. She didn't sugarcoat it. She didn't dodge the moment. She said what many fans have been arguing for months, that Caitlin Clark might actually be the GOAT. Let that sink in. We're talking about a league filled with legends, a sport built on decades of greatness. And yet here comes a young player who is already forcing veterans, rivals, and peers to rethink everything. And when someone like Raven Johnson, who has competed at the highest level and understands the game deeply, says something like that, it hits differently. Because she's not just watching highlights, she's studying the movement, the reads, the pressure. She's seeing how defenses collapse the moment Clark crosses half court. She's seeing how teammates instantly become more dangerous just by sharing the floor with her. And what stood out the most wasn't just the scoring, it was the control. Clark isn't just putting up numbers, she's dictating games. She's deciding when to speed things up, when to slow them down, when to take over, and when to let others shine. That's not something you teach overnight. That's a rare instinct. That's greatness. Raven Johnson noticed that. She saw the way Clark manipulates defenders with her eyes, the way she pulls double teams from absurd distances, the way she delivers passes that don't just look good but actually break defensive systems. And maybe that's what changed everything. Because for a long time, the conversation around Caitlin Clark has been loud, messy, and divided. Some people crowned her early, others pushed back hard. There's been debate, criticism, hype, doubt, everything. But moments like this, they cut through all of that. When a player like Raven Johnson gives respect like that, it doesn't feel like media hype anymore. It feels like truth catching up. And let's be honest, this didn't come out of nowhere. Caitlin Clark has been building toward this moment for years. From her college dominance to her transition into the pro level, every step has added something new to her game. Every challenge has sharpened her edge. And now, we're seeing the result. A player who can shoot from anywhere. A player who sees plays before they happen. A player who thrives under pressure instead of shrinking from it. So when Raven Johnson calls her the GOAT after watching that level of dominance, it's not just a compliment, it's a statement. A statement that says, this is real. A statement that says, this isn't just hype. A statement that says, we might be witnessing something special. Something historic. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Because once one player says it, others start thinking it. Once that door opens, the conversation changes. Now it's not as Caitlin Clark over. Now it's how far can she actually go. Now it's who can stop her. Now it's, are we watching the beginning of an era? That's the power of a moment like this. And whether you agree with the GOAT label or not, one thing is undeniable: Caitlin Clark is forcing the basketball world to have a different conversation, not about potential, not about promise, but about greatness, happening right now. And if this is just the beginning, then what Raven Johnson said might not sound so bold for much longer.